Hi there, Womble here. I'd like to talk about the fact that I think adding political messages into non-political films is never a good idea. What you have to remember about doing political things or things that are referencing current news is they have a very, 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 very short shelf life. And usually this means they're done on television. In the United Kingdom, we have a long tradition of satire shows which literally put a lens up to current events. There's a TV show here that was made in the 80s and early 90s called Drop the Dead Donkey, and it was set in a newsroom. And every week it literally referenced things that were happening that week, that day sometimes. So you'd say, the Prime Minister, John Major, did this. And it was very explicit references, which, if you watched it that week, were brilliant. But there's no rewatch value to it. Maybe you could watch it for 6 months, or people who lived through it could watch it a few years later, but you couldn't pick it up as a new viewer. 10 years later, coming to it cold, you wouldn't have a clue who any of these were. Being told, if you suddenly said, yeah, he's boring, well, how do you know that John Major was boring? And that's the point. So satirical stuff and political stuff tends to be the solo fact for television, because television is seen as ephemera. It's there, it's gone. Sometimes it's shown at 3 a.m. on a cable channel just to get a few views. But adding this into film is a really bad idea. Now, films are children of their time, of course they are, and they're infused with the views of the day, of course they are. But if you look at a film from yesteryear, it will have references to its production values will be different. Maybe it's black and white, maybe it's colour. The sets will be made differently. The way the film is made will look different. People will maybe talk slightly differently. The fashions will be different. If you watch a film from the 1940s, of course it's different. If you watch a film from the 1970s, the 1980s, yeah, they've all got crazy flares and crazy glasses and things, and the 80s, they've all got big hair and shoulder pads. But the film message itself is still good. You want to watch a film about, people busting ghosts? Well, it was great in 1984. It's still great now. It's a story about people busting ghosts. If you want to watch a film about a newspaper magnate, and his life and his problems, well, watch Citizen Kane. It's just as good as it was then. Yes, that has a political message, but it's built into the film. Yes, the characters may be based on people who existed at the time, but you don't need to know the true story. It's built into this film itself. The plot is built in. The story is told. Characters might be based on other characters, but you don't need to know the existing characters from the time. I have no idea about, I think it was Randolph Hearst, was it, that Citizen Kane was based on? I might be wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. I don't need to know the truth about him. I'm watching a film that's based on his life, brackets, allegedly. But these days, filmmakers are inserting political references into big, high-budget films, and they are destroying the rewatch value. Hollywood's gone crazy for Trump. Even this video I'm recording now is going to have a shelf life for this exact reason. People are going crazy for Trump, as in they can't stand him. Now, whether you like him or you loathe him, that's irrelevant for this video, and I'm not getting into that. But making him a centre point or referencing him as suddenly, this bloke who walks across the screen and he's got orange hair and everyone goes, oh, I don't like him. That's hilarious in 2019 if you're of that persuasion. But if you're not, in 30 years' time, you're going to watch that film and go, why are they all laughing at that bloke with orange hair? Why are they getting so stressed about it? No one's going to understand it. You've destroyed your film. You've given it a shelf life. And that's just wrong. It's insane and it's ridiculous. It just is. That's what TV is, where you put political stuff like that. If you put it into a film, you instantly lock the film in. There are films that are dealing with politics, and that's fine. That's their point, that's their job. They become about the Watergate scandal, about a political figure. That's fine. But if you have a character who, for no apparent reason, suddenly goes and, mutters disparaging things about another character for no reason at all, except because the filmmakers wanted to make a point about the current year, well, when it's no longer the current year, that whole point is lost, it's dead, it's gone, it's forgotten. And you've destroyed your watchability of your film, or at least you've stopped, and you've destroyed the point of that part of the film. And I was always taught when making films, if there's any part of a film you can cut out, it shouldn't be there. Every single piece of the film should have a reason for existing. If it doesn't have a reason for existing within the narrative structure of the film, it should be gone. And in my view, the stuff they're making where they're adding in political subtexts is exactly that. It should be gone. Womble out.